welcome back, should I say, to another one of our Tourum Academy live A&R feedback sessions here on the Tourum Academy YouTube page. It's been a while. We've been waiting and buzzing to get back here, and we are listening to your demos today, giving your feedback, insights, the Tourum quality that you guys know. And who else joining us for this one? Kicking us back off.
Who's coming this week?
Someone's coming. Someone really important.
Mystery guest.
Going to be knocking on that door in a minute. So you'll have to get up
tonight,
and
Matthew.
Them, all right. I've got us playing, haven't I?
Oh, there.
I can hear myself playing on the phone. So joining us today is none other than the man himself, Mr. Mark Knight.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, mate. I love this when you're on a radio show. It's always like, hello.
Hello there, Peter.
We haven't seen each other yet today.
No.
Thanks, though, mate. I know you're super busy, so taking your time out for
no problem at all. No, I love doing these things.
Very much appreciated.
My absolute pleasure. No, I'm looking forward to hearing some great music.
I think the last one we did together was probably September, I think, or something.
It's going back a while now.
Last year.
But yeah,
great
music.
I think we had a lovely tan from the summer holidays.
Oh, let's not go there with the weather, dudes. You know,
I was watching it back and I was like, how do I look so healthy at the last time we sat?
Well, it wasn't 6 degrees still.
Yeah, it wasn't. But it was a really good session. We had some brilliant music.
Yep.
It's been a while. We've been wanting to get back, and here we are, guys. We'll be bringing you these A&R sessions regularly again. Make sure you are following Tourum Academy on socials. Had a few people saying, how do I send demos in? How do I send tracks in? You've got to follow Tourum Academy on socials, okay? And we will let you know when we have the next one, how to submit demos, when the deadlines are, okay? Don't worry if you haven't got a track in for today's session, because even listening to other people's music and the feedback, it will make sense. You'll learn from it.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It's getting that kind of nuanced information that could be applicable to what you're doing. So
totally,
that's what that's
and from an A&R's point of view, you know, not just yourself as an artist and producer, but A&R as a record label, the kind of thing.
Well, that's it. It gives you an insight to what we're looking for, what we're not looking for, the tricks, the tips, the inside info.
And even beyond that, you know, it's just advice of what might be working, what might not be working in your tracks as
Absolutely.
Well, right?
Yep. Let's do it, babe.
Let's do it. So we've got quite a lot of demos that have come in. Now I've got a whole folder here, and I'm just going to grab some at random as we go.
Did you bring in the Tech House Tombola?
The Tech House. We could have. That's what we need. We need props for this cow. We need some props, don't we?
We could do one. I think we should like a big wheel like that
and spin and pull it out.
Romania will be playing. Let's do it in this. I think the next one. Let's do it in the style of the World Cup draw with Seb. I think we get Seb Platter in to choose the demos. Now that would be huge.
Will he give feedback?
If we can make it happen, watch this space.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Seb, your thoughts on that latest Tech House record?
Right, who have we got on chat? Let's have a look who we've got. Do you remember when we did in lockdown the what was it? The Tourum release. You was in your studio. I was at home.
We did the collaboration.
You had the little spinny wheel there for the collaborations.
Yeah,
that was something.
I think we upscale it now. You know, we've done that.
Yeah,
let's go big.
We've done it.
That's it. Or at least, you know, when they do the FA Cup draw, and you remember that one they used to get it out of the ball. Crew will be playing number 8, Rochdale.
We could. Do you know
Let's
what?
do that.
We'll do one in the future. We'll set up collaborations of everyone that's tuning in.
Yeah.
We'll set up collaborations. You guys are going to have to do it and take it on.
Heavily inspired by football draws.
Love it.
It's niche, but I think it could be good. I think it could be huge.
Have we got to wear suits?
Whatever night, Pete. You know what I mean? It's not box it in.
I love it. I love it. Right, who's locked in? Vitna, how you doing? Cretan Mark. Yo, James, Lamadone, Miguel. Loads of people in. Stefan, Jimmy J, how are ya? Love this. Got loads of people locked in.
That's
nice one, gang.
Tell a friend, spread the word. We are going demo-tastic.
We are. We're going to get through as many as we can, guys. Got loads of people here on the chat. The Shedheads are in. Love it. Big shout.
Shedheads. Love that. Let's get some music in from the Shedheads.
Hey, Joel.
The Shedheads Seb Blatter collab is that's what the market's looking for.
That's only if the tombola chooses that, okay?
Oh, yeah.
We cannot choose that.
We can't influence that
Love
in any way.
Love it. Keep your shouts coming in, guys, on the chat window. I will keep an eye on that, all right? And I've seen a few more people saying about that. Just to remind you, Tourum Academy socials, the Tourum Academy Instagram is probably the best. You'll see when we announce these. You'll have a few weeks to submit your demos. Okay, guys?
Press play, Pete.
Right, so let's do this. So, the first one I've got one here, and this is by JC. and the track is called Hear My Soul. So shall we do this?
Let's do it. Let's hear JC's soul.
Let's dive in. Let's go. Nice fade in. Nice stuff. Kicking off
wicked.
with some lovely summery vibes there from JC, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Everyone's feeling it on the chat as well, loving the vocal.
Nice one, JC. Good work,
People
mate.
were saying a bit more of those horns in the breakdown would have been nice.
Yep.
Really nice track. Love the vibe before we dive in, because obviously sometimes it feels like we just dive straight in with critique, but we're here to sort of give feedback. But it's a lovely vibe straight away.
Very original, very unique, good. I mean, not a thing that's overplayed. It's a great shout, you know. I really like that. But you made some good points off there.
It was arrangement for me. Arrangement. I mean, I know we're in a funny place at the moment with people submitting demos and tracks, and some people are sending in like sort of 3 minutes, 4 minutes Spotify edits, and I'm a bit like, I think you need to test the track as a bit more of an extended club version for me. Or if you're doing a radio edit, make it a radio edit. This is a bit in the middle.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
I've got like a sort of 10-second intro, but then a minute long break at the beginning. It felt like the break was dragging on, and then I was just, by the time we got to the second break, I was a bit like, I'm not sure, you've not hammered home to me as a listener what your vocal hook is. I've had lots of vocal, lots of parts. I think it's arrangement. I think it's arrangement. If that was me making this record, I would just copy the arrangement of something that's similar, very successful, quite sort of poppy and just copy it.
Yeah. Well, for me, absolutely. I think arrangement is the key issue here, as you say. It's okay to submit a radio with it, but you make it short, snappy, to the point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, if it is one,
if it's in context with what it should be. Another thing that I thought just didn't sit properly is the kick and the clap. The kick's so punchy and loud, it felt like you were doing a tech house thing with a kind of more soulful. I thought the groove wasn't conducive with and the EQ and the way you'd treated the drums with the vibe of the record. So what it did, it kind of created a bit of a disconnect sonically. When the pads come in, there was something between where the kick and the clap was and the vocal. But when they didn't come in, and to be fair, the vocal didn't sit on top of the pads, you had this kind of, if you can imagine sonics all broken up, you got the kick and the clap, then you got the vocal sound, and nothing, the guitar didn't really tie those two things together in the mids. It needed something soft, or reapproaching the drums. The drums are really static the whole way through, and they felt like they just felt out of context with the vibe.
Do you think go a bit more like old school filtered disco house?
I would have gone the more percussive, just that softer kick, more percussion. Again, you put more things in the mid range to tie the whole thing together sonically. Nice. That helped glue everything together. And there were a few like tech house tricks in there with the claps and their little Zatma, not really in the right, stylistically in the right pocket of what you were trying to achieve. I love the vibe. This is great. This is really in its own space. I just think
a little bit more thought on some sound choice according to the vibe.
I would scrap the drums and start with something a lot softer kick. I mean, the snap on the kick, you know, if you're writing a tech housing, fantastic. I mean, the kick and the clap in the right context were brilliant, but just not in this record. They're a bit too tough, a bit too punchy.
Feedback, man.
So, you know, I think if you scrap the drums, just put in something with percussion again, you fill in more of the mid-range, you're gluing it all together a bit. And I think the overarching issue, though, that's the kind of more production based advice, but the biggest issue, it doesn't have a hook.
Yeah.
Like, what is the hook?
It's telling the story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Making sure that hook comes in there at the right times to lift the record in the right places.
That's right, and you've really got to overemphasise that because of the EQ and the way that vocal's pitched. It's brilliant, but what's the bit out of that you want us to resolve, to finish on, to go, that's the hook, that's the thing. But great start, bit more refinement, arrangement, redo the drums, really work on focusing what is the vocal hook in that record.
Love it.
But
love it.
Great vibe. And
Lovely vibe.
That's the most important thing, you know. Here, let's remember that you can't engineer a shit idea into a good one.
No,
that's not a thing. You can't. You know, for all the fundamentally, it has to orientate around: is this a good idea? Then we can refine an idea. That's what we do in A&R. That's what we do. We get obviously millions and millions of demos, and most things we put out to them aren't what we necessarily receive. What we're looking for is great ideas.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and
it's all about
a vibe, and that's a vibe. Yeah. That is a vibe that can be produced into something great. That's all the building blocks of something really good. It just needs refinement. It needs some advice, some help in arrangement, but fundamentally the idea is strong. So that's, you know, in terms of when you said earlier what we're looking for, it's great ideas.
Love it. Solid feedback there, JC. Hope that helps. Right, I'm going to go and grab another one here. Let's have a look. What have we got? Right. Natalie Knox. How you doing, Natalie? Hope you're good. Right, let me just get this over ready. I'll unwarp it. What are you at? 126. Put it on grid because it's nice for us to see. Okay. What I'm going to do as well, actually, I forgot to say this at the start, I'm going to needle drop a little bit. I'll skim through the records a little bit. We'll still get a good idea just so we can get as many demos in as possible. All right? Let's do it, Natalie. Let's rock. Let's go.
Una noche de fiesta, tequila, carana y son. Llegó aquel
Yes, Natalie.
Well done,
Oof.
Natalie. That's wicked.
Absolutely wicked. Great to hear another record from you in the same sort of vibe as the previous track that you actually released
On Leaders.
Leaders of the New
That's
School.
correct.
So you was on Leaders of the New School, I think Volume 2, later on in last year, 2023.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, no, fair
and
play.
to hear consistency in your sound is awesome. I've got a feeling that's the same vocalist
Brilliant.
as well.
And that's an
Natalie
original
used.
vocal, right? That's been
Yeah.
recorded by Natalie. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Love
think it's
it.
been recorded by Natalie, by Natalie's friend. So that was called Amor Bandido.
Could you sing it, Pete?
No, I don't. I could attempt to, but I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
I do. Just for pants. No. In all seriousness, Natalie, it's excellent.
Really
No,
nice.
fair play. And first and foremost, great. Love it. You haven't just gone to Splice. You've really put the effort in. These are the records that will stand out. So that first point, love that. That's brilliant.
Something original.
I think the biggest issue in that record is that it has no funk. Like the groove is too hard for the vocal. Like when you heard can we just try?
It was. I tell you what it was. It was the first when we were in on the first groove and break.
I was waiting for the bass line to come in. If you put a bass line in, if you go to the breakdown,
And this is like even the vibes here are nice. That's where you really notice it. I think on the drop. We kick back in.
I think it goes from something with loads of potential to something that's not that's a bit, dare I say, not average. It's just like it's not special. That bit. Like I'm going to be frank.
But the rest of the record
it's
is
special. It's so special. It's like all the setup, original vocal, really good vocal,
That
into
payoff
something
just could
that's
be-
just a bit. Here's a banging tech house thing, as opposed to something with a bit more funk, a bit more. So it can stay totally in that lane. The thing it's missing, that much like the other record, to tie the fuse, is a bass line with melody. Now, if you
It's just got a little bit of soul, a little
just
bit of funk in it.
If you go to the breakdown when the vocals on its own, right here, right, when there's no bass line, there's no drums, right. That's funky as hell. Because it's not. If you put a bass line now, we've got any bass lines kicking around? Give us any bass. Give us a bass line.
Hang on. I don't, because I've got a feeling I'm not in time. I thought this was what. Oh, that's why.
Come on, Pete.
Got a bit of silence there. There was a silence at the
Come on, Pete.
beginning.
Get yourself in time, lad.
Come on.
Right. Give us a bass line. We got.
Right, let's have a look at some packs. Don't know if I've updated all my packs here. Who have we got in here? Oh, I've got Cruzy.
Right. What's he got in bass?
put-
We've got a bass line in there.
Yeah.
Just loop it around a bit. Something with. No, it's all a bit nondescript.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. It's nondescript, actually. It needs a bass line like to
Hang on,
tie
let
it
me
all
go.
together.
Let me try. Let's have a look. Let's go to Kasim's.
Sorry, we obviously haven't pre-planned this.
I can't produce
just
on the
cut
fly
this
that
bit.
much.
Just cut this. We'll edit this bit out. Right?
It's worth a try though. Didn't have any Latin packs
If
in
you've
here.
gone as far,
We know what you're saying. We know what you're saying.
if you've gone as far as getting a singer in, get a bass player in.
Yeah.
Get a bass player in. Like, I just thought the groove was a bit too tough and a bit nondescript.
The thing
and
is, a
bit,
couple
as
of people
opposed
said
to
this
that-
in the chat. A couple of people said it needs a bit more house.
It does. It needs and you'll get all of that from a bass line with melody. All of that will come together with a bass line with melody. It will tie the whole track together. That's the bit it's missing. You know, just relying on a timbale that comes in is not enough. Is not enough funk to tie.
Natalie's
the thing together.
here. She's saying thanks, guys. She's taking loads of notes.
It's just a bass line, Natalie. I mean, look.
That's it.
Again, when we do these things, we don't want to come across that we're being super hard and tough. You know, first and foremost,
totally not.
fair play for having the balls to submit a demo.
Definitely.
That's huge. That's a really big
look,
deal.
some of this stuff you can take it with artist discretion as well. This is me and Mark. A lot of it is what we like, what we're looking for in things as well. There is obviously some, industry experience and production experience here as well. But some of it is artistic taste as well, artistic license. But it is screaming out for that one. It is screaming out for just a bit more soul, a bit more funk.
I would look towards oh god, my brain's gone. What's his name? Spanish dude, little guy, bald head, that we play for us all the time. Not that. Help me out. Plays for Solid Grooves all the time. His name is. Come on.
You're putting me on the spot now. My brain never works on things like this. It's like when someone says to you, "Do you know any jokes?" You just go.
I'll tell you, Moose T remixed thing from him recently was on Crosstown Rebels. His name, it's such a nice guy. I played with him like a million times. Come on, someone help me out. Solid Grooves resident. His name is Come On Cow, off shot.
I'm not fine. I'm doing a quick Google search.
Diego? Who's Solid Grooves resident?
No, not Dennis.
Guys, is anyone with me on the chat here?
Help
Who's
me out,
with me?
God's
Dennis
sake.
Cruz.
Dennis Cruz.
Of course it's Dennis Cruz.
Oh
my
Dennis
God.
Cruz. Jesus Christ, lad.
Jeez.
Right, I'd look a little bit towards Dennis Cruz for that. What
Thanks,
would
everyone.
the big question is, what would Dennis do? In this instance.
Hang on, let's phone him up.
Dennis? But, sorry for not getting your name. First of all, but,
No, you're right.
I think Dennis cruised it up a tad. It will feel more conducive to the vocal, and then you've got something super special.
Nice.
You can put that in front of any big label, and it'd be right. Tone back the energy a little bit, the hardness, bit more Dennis.
Love it.
What would
love
Dennis
it, love
do?
it, love it. What would Dennis do?
I'm going to
Top
get a pointer
work.
saying, what would Dennis do?
You could have
At this
answer
juncture,
cards.
what would Dennis do?
What would Dennis do? Fair play, Natalie.
Yeah,
Love
well
that.
done, Natalie.
Really well
No,
done.
fair
And
play.
Just to
Absolute class.
emphasise what Mark said as well, honestly, big ups to everyone sending tracks in and putting your work out there, putting those hours in working on tracks. This is the sort of thing you have to do. I'm saying it time and time again. Seek opportunities. They are out there. Things like this do happen. We try to do this because we want to help. We want to offer a platform
we need to sign these records. That's not a million miles away from us signing it.
Yeah.
You're 65% of the way there. Dennis, just add some funk, do you know what I mean, to that.
Definitely.
I think just get the context of that record right. That's the most important thing. When I finish a record, I look at, is the context, is this record fully in context with
it's
itself?
hard. It takes a while to realise that. I'm saying stuff like this to students all the time, and I've only had a realisation of a record that I've been working on for ages because I got so lost in the vocal that I'd found that I liked, put it in. I even got a vocalist to redo it. It wasn't until I took a couple of months away from it and went, hang on a minute, the whole record's 90s and the vocalist is a bit poppy. It takes a while sometimes to realise that. I was like, that's not in context of the whole thing, and redo. But you've got to find a way that works for you. If you can't have feedback like this, try and find a way where you can stop and analyse your work and take breaks and think of these things.
And reference tracks are so important. That they are the key for an up and coming producer. Totally. It's ref tracks. It's things work well, that are solid. The more you do it, the ref tracks. You've got a catalogue of your own ref. You have a template that works in your head. The most important thing to understand is this record in context with itself. Am I trying too hard? Have I not tried hard enough?
Yeah.
Find that sweet spot. If it's like, more energy, I'm trying too hard. If like not enough movement on the drums and percussion, it's all in it, I haven't tried hard enough.
Yeah.
It's
you've got to A/B
stuff.
You've got to A/B stuff as well. Compare yourself, but not get lost in comparison. Don't let that beat you down. All right, but fair play, guys.
Yeah,
love
excellent.
it, love it. Right,
brilliant demos to
really
kick off.
good. Let's get another one, shall we? Let's do it. Let's dive into the folder here. I'm not going to overthink this. Let's
Melody's
look
totally
around.
stuck in my head on that Natalie record.
Okay, I've got something here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you get
she's got a
bass
really
lines with that.
distinctive voice as well that just suits that sort of
Yeah, it's
Latin
bang on.
vibe. Okay, I've got one here. Detonation. Call it whatever you want is the track title. Okay. 1, 2, 5 it says. All right, let's do it.
Mate.
Let's go. I'll try and skip through them a bit quicker actually.
Shit, half past already. We will have to keep it going a bit.
Nice one, Detonation.
guys.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure if that's one person, if that's a
whole
duo, if it's a whole nation.
The whole
called
nation. They've got
Detone.
passports and everything. Their own currency, the lot.
I must go there.
Yeah, it is lovely. It's lovely there this time of year, I've heard. Apparently.
Love it. Thanks very much for sending that in. Really interesting track. I'm going to say there's two things that really stood out for us. One was the vocal. Very interesting vocal, a little bit out of tune, and it was like sort of we wasn't quite sure what its purpose was.
It sounded like
in
a
the
mistake,
record.
to be totally honest. Like someone accidentally left a track unmuted.
Because it sort of comes in and it was really like little
I
bit
thought you
faint in
stood
the
on a cat,
background.
Pete, for a minute. I thought you'd.
Yes.
Oh,
sorry about that.
Sorry.
Sorry
No,
about that.
yeah, the vocal it was not right.
No.
Let's call it for what it is.
Yeah.
Jokes like
We're here to
totally,
be honest, give you guys
Yeah,
honest critique and feedback. That vocal is the wrong choice, key-wise, but also it was I'm not quite sure what its purpose was. It didn't bring something to the record.
No, it didn't bring nothing. In fact, it just made the tracks because it was so out of tune, like, especially at the end of the break. My eye watered a little bit. It was
pretty out of tune. Now the thing is though, you've got a really interesting groove,
which
like
is
the
great.
drums are really interesting. The bass line I found really interesting. I wasn't too sure on the way that you sort of had everything running together. Like it was like you was doing a reset every bar. Was always getting that ba 2 3 4 da 2 3 4. But then suddenly out of nowhere, this groovy trumpet comes in.
We didn't expect the trumpet.
I wasn't expecting the trumpet.
No.
Now I quite like the trumpet, but I think you're at a crossroads of which way to take this record. Personally, I'd either be thinking if I'm going to use that trumpet, then make the record a bit more groovy around that.
The trumpet would have sounded better in Natalie's record.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Vibe-wise, they're just. It's what you were talking about before. Context.
It's context. Yeah, I mean,
it's context. I don't mind things that are a bit more experimental, and you get something like really different genre or vibe-wise in a track. Like sometimes, do you know what I mean? When you get weird flavoured food, and it's like the opposites.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but it just that trumpet feels like it wants to be in some sort of Latin, Spanishy, groovy, percussive record. So I was
exactly. Like Pete, I mean, it's not all about doing cliches here, but I think when you're starting, I think let's get things that are a little bit more fundamentally in the pocket, you know, and that are a little bit more, dare I say, straight up, not too experimental. Let's nail the basics first. Let's get that nailed on. I wasn't sure of those two things.
Do you know what I mean? Where are you trying to place that?
Where does it sit? I just, like we said, the key is context. Is like a really big, aggressive lead bass line, married with sort of trumpets. I'm not sure. I don't think stylistically those things are in tune.
But I think you could separate that.
Let's go back. Because, like as Pete said, the groove and the bass line strong, very cool. Could it have done, Pete? Have you got a?
You're going to put me on the spot here to produce again.
Come on.
Okay, what are we doing?
Green Velvet acapella.
Oh, I've got some DJ tools and acapellas. What have I got? Let's have a.
What you got?
Oh, I'll turn the volume down, didn't I? That was me. Right, let's have a look. What have I got? Let's go in here. I'm going to be really fussy what one I want now. What we got? We've got Jason Jinx. I've got some old ones.
We've got Green Velvet. I know.
Have I got Green Velvet acapella? What have I got in here?
That motherfucking.
Oh my! Really, I can't swear. I cannot swear. Not past the watershed. Oh my God.
That seems out of time.
Oh, look at who we go.
What is it?
That's Blaze.
Not that.
No.
Not,
I don't think I've got any.
enough.
I don't think I've got any Green Velvet ones in here. To be honest
Flash
with you.
or anything like that. Right, if you haven't got it, imagine.
Let's go dancing. I wanna go dancing with you all night dancing. Let's go dancing. I wanna go dancing with you.
But again, in terms of syncopation.
Let's go dancing. I wanna go dancing with you all night dancing. Let's go dancing.
It's more in the pocket vibe wise.
Yeah.
Of the groove. Do you know what I mean?
More exactly. That's more in keeping that with the setup of the record. That works in the syncopation. That take out the cat vibes and maybe find the trumpets are strong. They're really good. But not in this record.
That's it. I think you've got a really good foundation here, D-Tone, in the drums, in the mood of the bass and that synth. But that set us up in a certain mood. Then the vocal. Let's just look. We'll say get rid of that. It's not quite working. Your question now is the trumpet. That goes a different direction. Whereas we think you could actually keep this moody.
I would do.
Keep it moody.
That vocal
more
was
industrial.
great.
That would actually work really well.
Actually worked really well.
Something like that is what's going to suddenly elevate this. I think this is just one of those things where we get creative, we like sounds, we bring in ideas, but actually it feels like it just doesn't quite wholly belong there, that trumpet. But good stuff. Nice start. I'd say keep going on that, D-Tone.
I think as well, it's important, and I've said this a million times in interviews when we do these things, was when you sat down and decided to switch on the computer and go, right, today I'm going to make a record with a big bass line and trumpets. Was that on the agenda? Did that evolve as you were writing it?
Yeah, and you find sounds here,
stuff. Oh, that'll work.
Yeah.
Now, what was the case? Was that in the game plan? I'm not sure you both sat down and said, let's write a record with these.
Yeah.
I don't think you did. I think that evolved into that and then you made a record. Now, what's so important here is to have a plan, is to have something written down. Say, I am making this record. This is my idea, and this is what I'm making. Because it is very easy to start at point A, go to point B, then go, I'm going to go to Y.
Creative people are like,
C's quite good. No, I know, I'm in A.
Totally. We're like magpies, and if something shiny comes along, if you're a creative person, you just go, and you gravitate towards it.
I mean, if there are things that embellish the idea, but not derail it, I think if you've got
you've got to question it. You've basically got to if you're going to run away with something, that new bit of creativity, you've got to stop and go, is this right for what I'm doing? Or am I just running away with it because it's exciting?
And that's right, and I'm just stuck in a loop, and this thing fits over the top.
Totally, man.
All good. Built again, look at we put that vocal on, that record all of a sudden,
had a vibe.
Had a vibe. It's not a million miles from sort of Will Clark, something like that.
That's it.
You could get away with just automating the bass line, manipulating the bass line, that record, bringing in rides, bringing in claps. You could make, with a great vocal hook like that, that's that record done. Then it's a very real thing. So, fair play.
We're getting some nice words here. I think D-Tone's in.
Oh, hello, D-Tone.
Fair play. Excellent stuff.
Hope this, hope you're not sounding too hard here. I'm
no,
really not,
like I said, we dive in with critique. There's loads of plus things, but we're just trying to give you guys
absolutely
advice and
just
feedback.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here to do. A few more people asking again about sending tracks in. Just check out Toolroom Academy socials. Follow Instagram. You'll see when we do these. We put a call out for demos a few weeks before. All right. Shout out to everyone. Trish, nice to see ya. Costa, hope you're good. Loads of familiar names coming here. Graham, how are you, mate? Derek, loving the Magpies. That was a fresh analogy, that one. Just came to me at that moment.
Not Newcastle United.
Yes, not Newcastle United. Right, let's grab another one. Okay, what have we got here? So, just grab something here. I've got one. Just lining it up. Okay. So the title of this, I don't know if this is the actual title or whether this is just context to what it is. This is by Megan and it's called Rushed Demo. So I don't know what the track title. I like that.
I mean, we laugh, but again, it's like if you're submitting that to a label,
Yeah, you've got to think about it.
Next.
You've got to think about it. I don't know if you're trying to be tongue in cheek there or
I
not,
but I just think when the reality is, we are listening to hundreds and hundreds of demos. You've got to come with something, a big, bold, confident statement like "not mastered."
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, totally.
Don't even listen to it.
Totally.
Don't
work in progress.
Next.
It's like, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, Megan, let's do this. Let's get this on. Let's go. Someone just said fair play. Why pick it and play it then?
Papi, yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, papi, yo me siento soledad, papi, yo me siento soledad.
I think I know that vocal. What she's done is
Papi, yo me siento soledad, 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 papi, 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 yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, pégate más. Papi, yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, pégate más. Papi, yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, pégate más. Papi, yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, 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 papi, 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 yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, pégate más. Papi, yo me siento soledad, siento que pierdo la noción. Papi, yo me siento soledad, pégate más.
yes, Megan. What a
Wow.
groove!
Very good. Very good. Very
What a
good.
groove! What
I
an
mean,
energy! We're getting a lot of sort of high energy.
But every track's bit-
track stuff at the moment as well, aren't we?
That's
I mean,
really good, you know.
It's really nice. That's got a lovely
good.
instant vibe. The groove's really nice. Percussion's nice. Like the vocal. Part of me was going, I know the vocal. I felt like I knew it, like recognised it from a sample pack or something. But then it felt like it was different. Like maybe that you've changed the positioning of it. I
I'd
could
never
be
heard,
off.
I'd never heard that.
I
That's
could-
great.
It might have been the melody of it, but I really liked it. I
Really
really
good.
liked it. It had me. It got me. Pulled me in.
Really good. I mean, like when it comes out the breakdown, wicked.
Yeah.
Wicked, totally wicked. Like, I mean, sorry to jump between tracks, but like the difference between having a bass line with melody in this track and Natalie's track, the difference, you will see if we're feeling it with our body language. You can't hide that. That's the great thing about rhythm and music. You know, it's very apparent. If we're feeling it, you'll see that when we're on mute. If you can see it rocking, you'll get it because you've nailed the rhythm. It's infectious. You can't help it. That's the brilliant thing about music. I think the bit that was wrong is the musical bits. They're all a little bit confused, not great sound choice. You could almost scrap all of that.
Just needs one really good, simple musical hook. Or percussive hook. Something that switches between... So when the vocal does drop, something dead simple that I can latch onto.
Yeah.
Because especially the thing is, it was like... You were dropping, there's a faint one that's almost within the groove, isn't there? There's a ba, 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 that was under the groove, low. And I was like, I don't think you even needed that.
Maybe just something on the
And
off.
then another one
The thing that was playing that melody, keep that on the off. Just reduce that down to one note, because that's not going to not work, right? And then the thing that came when we started to play in triplets is nearly right, but the sound choice is awful. Like that, like it sounds like someone's stuck a sock up a trumpet.
I wasn't sure of the positioning of it either.
Do you know what I mean? But it's kind of the right idea. Again, that could just be on percussion. Take that if it's MIDI, put it on a timbale or something like that, or something percussion. Again, context would be right. It's just look, play it.
It's musical stuff, isn't it? It's musical stuff on this one.
Nearly, but not the right sound choice.
It's not the right sound choice. It just doesn't feel at home with...
When it comes in for the breakdowns, it's bad.
You'd see us all dance.
Dare you not to dance to
Yeah.
that? Could, bad.
Just needs the
Love
musical
it.
part to just be on the same
It's
part
fine-tuning
musically, like the whole vibe of it. But
Again,
love that.
That's so close.
Really
you know what
good,
I mean?
Megan.
Do you know,
Really good.
do you know what I played? I was in Japan at the weekend. Right? I dug out what's the thing I did on El Road, the general thing.
Oh yes.
And I started playing that again. I thought, I've not this for a while. I played that, and that felt similar to that. We need another one of those records.
Yeah.
That's very close. I really I love the vocal. I've never heard it. It's wicked.
It's got the funk and soul. It's got just a little bit of party vibe as well as the high energy. Those records. That's what I like.
Really
about
good. That well done. And not only to put Rush demo, quite the opposite. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
Don't never
totally.
start with a negative. Always like, this is the best record I've ever made. Call it
Yeah,
that. I go,
totally.
wow, really?
Like we're playing it here for this session, but like we're totally honest. If we was in a big A&R
would've
meeting and we had
skipped that. We
loads,
would've
we
missed the
probably
gem.
would have skipped it. But for the sake of this, we're like, no,
Thank
we'll
God for
give
the
it.
Tech House Tombola. You were saved by the Tech House.
Let's do it. Let's
We
dive
don't
into
choose
another
these
one.
things.
Let's
It's,
where the Tech House Tombola
press the button,
goes.
Peter.
Nobody knows. Right, let's have a little scroll about and see what I've got here. Okay, dun, dun, dun. Got another one in. Didn't overly
All
think
been really
it.
good,
Just
though,
grabbed.
I have to say.
Really good.
I mean, hell.
Really, really good. Quality's fantastic. And even if you are someone who's like quite early on in your production journey, you're like, I can't do this. If you're finishing a record, send it in.
Yeah,
okay, we're not here
absolutely.
to just play people that are 80% there. We'll listen to beginner stuff. We'll give you
Yep.
any sort of thoughts. I'm just grabbing anything at random. Okay,
You're
so
not. The Tech House Tombola is
I am the
Just-
Tech House Tombola.
just for the T's and C's.
I need a T-shirt for that. I am.
I am the Tech House
Tech House
Tombola.
Tombola. Yes. Right, I've got one here. Ems, and the track is
Hey,
called
Ems.
Work. Hope you're good, Ems. Let's do it.
Mano, tamo trajadão. DJ, tá pesado. Mano, tamo trajadão. DJ, tá pesado.
This one make me feel like I could fly. Bitch, I'm too fucking high. I think I'm seeing God. I'm in my own, so look at me in my eyes. If you think you smoke my weed, then you a lie. Work. I said fuck all that shit. I gotta make some work. Got off my ass and ever since then I've been fucking turned. I said fuck all that shit. I gotta make some work. Got off my ass and ever since then I've been fucking.
Mano, tamo trajadão. DJ, tá pesadão. Mano, tamo trajadão. DJ, tá pesadão.
Get me in my eyes. If you work, I said fuck all that shit. I gotta make some work. Got off my ass and ever since then I've been fucking turned. I said fuck all that shit. I gotta make some work. Got off my ass and ever since.
Mano, tamo trajadão. DJ, tá pesadão. Mano, tamo trajadão. DJ, tá pesadão.
Yes, Ems.
Yes, Ems.
Wow,
Sorry,
what a track. That's got some real pace to that one.
Wicked, what's the tempo?
130. I was waiting for you to just be like, come
do you know
on.
what? It didn't actually sound that
No,
fast,
but
I have
that's
to
the thing.
say.
Because of, I felt the style of it was all just quite, it was quite sort of techno-y.
Yeah.
But with that sort of tech house undertones in the bass line. I really like that record. I
I
think
do.
for what it is, the vibe of it, again, I know we're repeating ourselves, but the context of it, everything fits. The mood of the style of the drum sound choices and the clap and the bass line, and suddenly getting this moody rap vocal come in, and the vocals then sort of the one actually taking us with its melody and the way they're rapping.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I wasn't sure about the break when it then just stopped and then went to the loose percussion-y bit, like energy-wise, but I think that's just more artistic prerogative. I felt nothing where I felt like going, oh, that caught me off guard, that didn't work. I didn't have anything like
Yeah,
that.
I'll tell you what really threw me when it went from Portuguese to English.
Oh, okay.
Like
In
I
the vocals.
thought, like you said that with his Portuguese thing, but with no disrespect, the English vocal, the guy that rap is way stronger.
Yeah.
It's tonally more exciting. It's a better hook. Like you could have had that in the breakdown as a little bit of a mid-late to go somewhere, but that should just be all about that vocal. Like just play it when it comes to that second drop.
Yeah. That's Green Velvet.
This one make me feel like I could fly. Bitch, I'm too fucking high. I think I'm seeing God. That shit I gotta make some work. Got off my ass and
Tá pesadão. Mano, tamo trajadão. DJ, tá pesadão.
In one thing, I mean,
some work. Got off my ass and ever since then I've been fucking turned.
really good vocal, really good.
I gotta make some work.
What I think one thing
Really quirky.
What you could do, just one other thing.
quirky.
Why don't you follow? Because it's got very specific melodic structure to that vocal. Follow that with a little blippy lead sound. So when that came out, that took over,
Yeah.
and then you could have them both together. That would add.
You're
Just,
going to that Green Velvet level.
yeah,
then,
but that's
definitely.
I love the vocal. Where's the vocal from? It's wicked.
Yeah, I don't know. Ems, are you
online, Ed?
with
really
us,
good?
Ems?
Well
Let us
done.
know.
Great find. Great.
Really
Again,
good
all these
vocal.
tracks in their own way have been really unique and really interesting. It's really inspiring. That I love it. I love it. It's not all just a pastiche of the same kind of idea. They're all in their own lane. Wicked.
Yeah, don't know if Ems is in, but that is wicked. Really cool. And do you know what, guys? Thanks for pointing out that's probably an obvious thing. That last track, that was probably just called Rushed.
Oh right. Well, I'll take
And
all
then
that back.
demo.
Thanks, Pete.
But you can see where my brain went, because I don't think demo was in brackets.
Oh,
You know, so if I'm going to sing
That's
two
us
words
having a
next
right
to
old
each
go.
other, do you know what I mean? Rushed demo.
right. Yeah, do that fair.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I don't think that was Megan saying that. It was just someone pointing it out. I think Graham was like, it could have been
Megan's
that. And I'm
never
like,
going to talk to you
I see
again
where
now,
your brain
Pete.
comes from. Well, yeah,
Well,
but
observably so.
then she'll just remember for future demos. You know, and I'll make sure
You
this has
might
got a
have
kick-ass
broken- might have
name.
broke her heart, mate.
You,
I
try not to be
ploughed in
harsh.
as well. So
You did.
I did.
You
Thanks,
did.
mate. Cheers for that.
But to be fair, when I was scrolling doing the Tech House Tombola, I have spotted a track in there that I don't think it's got an artist name or
Oh.
something, and I'm like,
it
come
will
on,
be removed.
Come on,
it won't come up.
guys.
It won't come. The Tech House Tombola won't have it.
it's just. No,
It won't fit its algorithm.
The mouse will push away from it.
Its
Hang
algorithm.
on, you don't like algorithms.
No, in this instance.
Right, let's keep going. Let's find another. Is anyone new on chat here? Who's with us?
Ems is in the chat now.
Is Ems in the chat?
Yeah.
Right, good up. Well,
Ah, vocal is from Sexy Red, Double D, a rap song. Love
good.
using rap vocals. Good find, Ems.
really good find. Yeah, really good. That well done.
Definitely. Good
Love
little
it.
Find. That's
Digging,
that is half of it. Of the finding that.
not just go to splice, digging, thinking outside the box, looking for inspiration outside of just the lane that the same lane everyone else is in. That's the trick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I write, I never look at what anyone else is doing. Just in fact, do the opposite. Because everyone's doing that. Go and do the opposite. Go and find inspiration elsewhere. You know, get the records out, do some digging, go down a rabbit hole on YouTube. Don't gravitate. Don't go. Let's go to spies. In fact, challenge yourself not to do that.
Yeah.
You know that's when you'll stand out.
Yeah, man.
Long as the context
I mean,
is correct.
you can find some good ones on there. The thing is, it's like
But
you've got to dig
everyone's
deep.
doing the same
Well, the
thing.
thing is, do you
man.
know what it is for me with a lot of sample pack stuff? It's cycles. And there'll be a period where a load of new packs come out and it's fresh for a bit and then it sits and then everyone goes and finds the strongest vocals and keeps reusing them. But I will fight the corner for this. The one thing that's proven to me that there's less people or not necessarily as many that overly care about it is I keep hearing stuff on big radio shows and I'm like, it's that vocal again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on like a slightly different
There is-
subgenre. Like
Yeah.
I've heard it on Piano House. 3 months later, the same big DJ on a radio show is playing another record with the same vocal but a slightly different subgenre. And that they must notice it, but it's like they don't care. And I'm like, well, if people are being a bit,
There is one caveat
Do you
to
know
that
what I
statement.
mean?
Like, unless you're using the new Torm trademark notepad, then
that's allowed.
that's allowed.
That's
I've
allowed.
done the thinking outside the box
The thing
already.
is, you
At
just-
least someone's done it.
The thing for me, where it all comes back to, it's look, you're not going to know everything. We as A&Rs in the industry, we're watching and seeing what's being released. We hear a lot of music. We know what's out there. You've got to do a bit of research. When you find a vocal and you go, okay, listen to the subgenre you've done, then go and research. Try and listen to big tracks from that subgenre. Has anyone else used it? Try and Shazam the vocal on its own and see if it's been used a few times. You know, because you can find stuff that hasn't been used much. Then it's there. It's there for the taking. Right, I got another one here.
Okay.
Loaded and ready to go. Giani Keys. How you doing,
Hey,
Giani?
Gianni, how you doing, mate?
Former Academy alumni as well. And we've
Excellent,
got
love
a
that.
track here called Set Me Free featuring Judah Michael on vocals.
Wicked.
Now look, there you go. There's a track submission with the email address at the end of the track name as well.
Great start.
Gotta love that.
It.
Right.
Fair play. Nice one,
Let's
mate.
do this. Let's get you on grid. Bim bam bam. Okay, let's roll.
You stole my love away. I gave you everything. You left so easily. Oh, I don't want this. I don't know where to go, but I'll find somewhere to go. I'm better all alone. I'm running from this. Don't get too close to me. I'm not the one you need. Oh, won't you set me free? free.
Wow, very well done.
That is
Production's,
super slick, Gianni, mate. That
absolutely
is
top draw.
that is wicked. Really, really good. Proper high level.
Yep.
Original vocal.
Yep,
Nice
excellent.
vocalist. Really, you just know where that record stands in the sort of
Again,
realm,
in
Gorgon
context,
City sort of
yeah,
space.
Totally
It's
in
like-
context with itself.
Yeah, lovely.
Most important.
And it's not too complicated. As a listener, I'm just there with the vocal and the riff.
Vocal stuck in my
Bam,
head.
riff just gets you, leads you, and is
Yeah,
in the right
it's really good,
places.
strong.
Really strong. Both me and Mark just felt it was the second half. That second breakdown, you did 8 bars of the glitch vocal, and then no vocal, but then we resolved on the drop.
Yeah,
vocal.
should have just had the vocal in the build-up, surely, you know.
Yeah.
And then the vocal never comes back in the back half of the record. You know, I always tend, again, a template thing, like you're building to the climax of the record. Surely you want to revisit the hook. You know what I mean? That's the whole record. If you don't, you know, it really, I get so quite a lot in demos and people's tracks they're working on, they don't bring the hook back. I'm like, it's at the peak of the record.
Yeah.
This is where you really need the hook.
Yeah, totally. I think maybe some people have like a fear, like they think I'm overusing stuff. Because the other way I see it, a lot of the online courses, is they save it. It's like, I'm going to save it all for that last break. Do you know what I mean? It's like they give tiny little bits of the hook, and then 3.5 minutes in, and it's like, here's the hook in the break, and then we drop, and it's all there. And I'm like, I wanted that 2
like
minutes ago as well. It's like,
you read a book and there's nothing on page up to page 57, then the whole story in 2 pages.
yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like and then start on page. Do you know what I mean? It's
Just one word.
one
held
word,
across
and then
50
everything
pages.
on the last page.
Flicking the
Do you know
book.
what I mean? Records,
No, you're totally right. It's a good analogy. Good analogy.
records need to be two things: in context for themselves and balanced.
Yeah.
You know, even if you don't even switch on and go visualise it. I've got all the vocals there, but I haven't got any in the hook end. Is
Yeah.
that right? No, the vocals should be like a story all the way throughout the record,
Yeah,
at
totally.
the right point. You know, when I look at a record, I don't even have to press play and go, hang on, no, that's not in the back half. Even if it's effects, if effects that are in the front half of the record are then in the middle of the record, are then on the out of the record, so everything feels cohesive, consistent, balanced. All of those words, you know, just visualise, look at it, go, if stuff I put in the intro, is that on is the middle section and the outro? No, it's all on the intro. We'll copy it across to all the relevant
I think
places.
people worry and think, oh, my record's going to sound samey and it's going to sound boring. The key is what you do in between that, how you get there, how you switch that up. Because I think what people forget is by the time I've got to like 3.5, 4 minutes in a record, whether that's, you know, drop and we're going or in build up, my brain is not thinking and remembering exactly what happened 2 minutes ago, like the exact order and where it was. I think of it like a roller coaster of energy. If you think of the listener wants to go up and down a couple of times.
Yeah.
Not just one long incline on the dance floor waiting for the 3-minute moment. It's like we want to go up and down. So that is wicked, mate.
That's
really
something. That's
good.
just
So
just a couple of
polished.
bits of vocal arrangement. Chuck the vocal over the build
Yeah.
up in the second way, and on the outro, done really good.
Because
Really
there's so
strong.
much song in the front break.
Yeah.
Let's just get it later on. But
There was one.
Quality,
I know again this is
quality.
minutiae because this is so accomplished. I just thought the drums it kind of stuck on a closed hat for pretty much for the way you had like a wispy ride that coming towards the end. Could it picked up energy with an open hat? Do you know what I mean? At some
Yeah.
point, it stayed relatively static the whole way. There was a
good
lot of energy in the record that kept building and building with production and more parts, but yet the drums stayed completely static.
I didn't really latch on or listen to the drums. Like in that sense, like really latch on. That's a really good point. And as simple as just like a nice big open hat, well, you'll really notice.
Just
that's
a
come
909, just to something
Yeah.
that fits in there. Again, it's all about the, it grew as a piece of music with energy, but the drums didn't. They just stayed the same. And and I thought as well, just again, this is minutiae. It broke down very quickly at the end to nothing. Do you know what I mean? And when you're mixing and playing as a DJ, if a record has that big shift in energy, you're almost a bit too scared to play because, oh God, or you just loop that other bit.
Yeah.
It needs to kind of all fall away in a balanced
Yeah,
level of
don't drop
energy.
too much off.
No, as you're mixing in the other record, everything is transitioning with the same amount of energy, so you don't have this big drop off. Again, I felt it broke down a bit too much, but it's minutiae. It's that 5-10% now that make it the difference between going on
Wicked.
to being on Realm or being a demo, and it's those little bits now.
Nice one.
But very, very good, very strong.
Wicked
Well done,
stuff.
Giani,
Nice one, mate. So just have a play with that on that vocal arrangement and get it out there. Get that one out there to the right
Love
labels
the
that's
vocal.
going to suit.
Totally stuck in my head.
Yeah, really good. Da-da-da, set me free. Really nice. Right, Tech House Tombola.
I preferred his version of it, Pete.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, see, I was warming up to singing. I didn't have the guts earlier when you
No,
asked
you-
me on Natalie's. I was getting there with this one. Right. Okay. What have we got here? Dun, dun, dun. Analysing. Aha! Right. You guys are on here because I've seen you on the chat as well. Vertigo or Vertigo. I never know how to pronounce that when I see your artist name. How do you pronounce it? It's Vertigo. Vertigo.
Vertigo.
It's Vertigo.
Vertigo.
It's got to be Vertigo, isn't it? Let us know. Let us know if I'm getting that right or completely wrong. Vertigo. Free. It makes me want to say Vertigo though when I start doing that. Vertigo. Yeah, I'm going to keep overthinking that, aren't I? Free Your Mind. Another good submission here. Email address written down. These
Excellent
things
stuff.
count.
Yeah, good stuff.
Right, let's do it. Let's roll.
Wow, there
need
you
a bit of
go.
a sit down now after that. That's quite heavy.
Reminiscent of a sort of Danny Tenaglia Twilo set.
Yes, that is
circa
a bit Danny
19
Tenaglia-esque. You're
99,
right.
yeah.
It's Vertigo Brothers. Of course it's Vertigo Brothers. I knew that. It's because you guys abbreviate it and it throws me. But hope you're well, lads.
Hey, yep, nice one, guys.
Nice one putting in the chat there saying, look, we know it's sort of a work in progress and stuff, but heavy.
It's always a work in progress.
It always
Everything's
is,
a work
isn't
in
it?
progress.
Even once it's released.
Even to the minute, 5 minutes before I give it to Matt to upload, now they just need to change something else,
Oh
Matt.
my God, the days when I used to work closely with you, I think I've still kept it in my iTunes. Do you remember All Right?
Yeah.
I reckon I've got 30 something different versions
Yeah,
within
I
the
know.
last 2 weeks before
Work
you
in progress. Well, it's
it.
fine tune the arse out of
I
it.
remember trying different things, but yeah, we get it, man. It's cool. It's totally cool. I really like that. I think that is super heavy, super hard. I love the nod to Danny Tenaglia.
Yeah, it felt like, that the sort of stuff Danny was doing, or Victor Calderone back in the day,
But
which
with
is
a
really,
modern sort of
which is really cool. You don't hear loads of that, Tom
No.
Stefan,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
whole era of tribal sort of dark roomy sort of stuff. It was really cool.
Techno influence, dark room, tribal stuff.
I just
Loved it.
love all that stuff, stuff on Deep Dish and
Yeah, really nice and heavy. It's just, for me, it's arrangement, just sussing out exactly what the vocal does, arrangement, and just giving a few things a bit of space.
Yeah.
It's very heavy and intense with effects and audio effects and reverb and stuff, quite a lot throughout. I think there's times when we could just go, right, hang on, let's come down and let just the vocal take over and just the riff and just the build and stuff. But the parts are all there for me.
Yeah, I think a couple of nuancy bits were again balanced. Like you had the vocal going on almost a bit too long in the intro, then nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
Like balance, like we talk again.
There was
It's
a
like
tiny
someone
little bit
ripped
of
the-
it, but as if it was saying a different word. Like
Someone
house
ripped
or
the middle
something.
chapter out of the book again. Do you know what I mean? Like consistency, continuity, regularity is what make people. You want to preempt what's coming next. You should feel like me and you go, vocal here, it never
Yeah,
happened.
it didn't
The
happen.
vocal through your mind should have should have come in halfway through the middle section and then led in to the speaky bit in the middle. That's the bit that should have tied, not coming in for a little bit and then back out again, then back in.
Totally.
Vocal arrangement wasn't right. I
And then
thought
the speaky bit, like that bit, it didn't have my full attention because there was so much other stuff.
and
going
it didn't.
on around
You hadn't set it up. You hadn't set it up right. You had 8 bars of the vocal in before. You weren't ready for it. You need to make all the it's a big moment. If you had that vocal leading up to it and reverbing out space, then that becomes centre stage. It was all a bit confused. The riff sound, I thought, a few nuancy bits here. The riff sound like you'd EQ'd the whole body out of that sound. It sounded like you sort of scooped all the nice bit of the sound out and left it you'd left the high pass on. So put some body back into that sound. Give the kick a bit more attack. The percussion had loads of attack and what's the word when. What's the attack? My brain's gone to that. I lost so much.
Attack, decay,
No.
release. Where are you going? Drive.
What? Right, come on, answer the transience.
I was trying to think what
Transient
you're
is the
thinking.
word.
Okay, transient, yes.
Yeah, but then the kick had nothing. It was you had nothing. You had no attack on the kick, but loads of attack on the percussion. Mirror that. Give that a bit more attack. Scoop out some of the bottom end on all the effects and reverbs to create space in the mix. Side chaining on the effects, create space. I think I love effects. I love filling records out, but you've got to do it in a way so that they don't argue with each other and they can all make their own statement. But again, a very original piece of music. Really nice to hear a nod back to that. Love that. I thought it was wicked. It's again. You're 15-20% away from having a really good finished record.
Definitely. Nice one, lads. Thanks for sending that in. Really good. Few things to think about there. I would just tool and tracks template that arrangement-wise.
I didn't mind it was more the vocal thing that didn't make sense,
Okay.
and a few little bits like some stuff just dropped out and on the outro section.
Like I said, I think it was definitely work in progress because after we dropped in the second drop, I skipped a good 16, 24 bars and it was pretty much the same the whole time.
Okay.
So I reckon that you guys are probably thinking about that, but hopefully some things to take away there for you guys to get stuck in and take that to that next level. Fair play. Thanks for sending in. As we said a few times, just want to keep reminding because we've got fresh people joining the stream all the time here. Thanks for sending these demos in, guys. And I know me and Mark sort of jump in and go, I'd maybe change this, I'd maybe change that, wasn't sure about this. It's the purpose of being here is to give you guys our honest critique, our honest A&R feedback. You know, there's a lot of experience here from a record label point of view, from a a global superstar artist here.
When's he coming in?
He's down
He's
there.
late, isn't he?
He's the one I trod on earlier. He's that squeaky sound. He's under the chair.
I'm going to play him my demo.
Ask him nicely. You might. It says if the Tech House Tombola picks you, you never know. You never know.
Without the mercy of.
But we just want to say, look, respect for sending your demos in. This is what it's all about on the learning, and there's so much positives. We're just here to sort of pick out those bits that we think you could work on this, work on that. Okay, but respect to it. Like I always say, seek the opportunities. All right, learn from that. Growth, networking, all of these things that I badge on about all the time in the courses. These are the key to growth, not just sat in front of your studio writing tune after tune after tune. You've got to go out there and seek things and try and get some feedback on your work as well. It's massive. I mean, if I'd have had more of this in my earlier years, the difference it makes,
Yeah,
when I first started playing new bits and bobs, I was mucking around with started the label, and suddenly you're like, well, this and that and this and that, and you're like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even just some of the simple things. Just put your record in an Ableton mix and see if it turns up.
Yeah.
If you haven't got the opportunity to go and play, put it in an Ableton mix and a DJ mix. Go and listen in the car, completely out of the context of your studio and the way you're thinking, where your brain's programmed to look at this piece of music. Go on a run, go down the gym, and if it doesn't stand up sonically, arrangement-wise, with all the other things you love because you bought them, you're playing them, and yours doesn't fit, why does it not fit? I do it all the time. Like I'll finish a record, and I'll quickly just chuck it into Ableton and put record either side of it and mix it in, mix it out. And if too much stuff, there's not enough energy. If the drums, the hats aren't loud, the kick's not loud enough, you'll hear it straight away, because your brain, even when you're A-B it, your brain, it's hard to differentiate, to switch that quickly and evaluate the instance of those both records to that level of, I think it's hard. I think it's easier to understand in the context of a DJ mix. If you drop it out and go, oh Christ, there's loads of holes in that, then fill them back in.
Listen to the whole thing, so that your ears set to it, your mood and your mind set to it.
That's right, and out of the context of looking at it as a piece of music, looking at it as a thing, because your brain sees it and preempts things in a certain way. Come out of that scenario, put it on in the car on the way home. I mean, when I come home from the studio, what I tend to do is, whatever I've done that day, I cycle home. It's about 45 minutes. I listen to that over the whole journey on the way home. 45 minutes of the finished piece of music. By the end of it, I'm removed from the situation, so I'm in a different headspace, but I'm in tune with the day's work. So I understand it. Because believe you me, when I listen back to it the next day, I'll have forgotten the intricacies of the record because of whatever's happened that night, whatever. So you're in it enough to understand that real nuances and the bits you need to change, but you'll listen to it in a different environment. Go home, quickly write all that down, go the next day, in an hour, it's done. Yeah. That's the way.
It's really interesting you say that. I think there's something in the context of you doing something else.
Totally.
Ben Remember says the same thing. He says when he's done it, he goes and has a break, and then he goes and does something like the washing up. He says, if you're doing something,
and put it on in the background when you're doing the washing up. Yeah,
like so you're cycling, so you're physically, part of your brain is doing something and operating something, but it's sort of in a autopilot.
Yeah,
but it's still conscious to do that. So then when you're listening to it, you're not just going like looking at the screen, going, like jump out at me and tell me what I need to change. There's something in that. Well, I think by doing the other thing.
That's right, because it will because you're in a different instance. What happens is if you're looking at it, your brain fills in the blanks.
Yeah,
it fills in the bits. Your brain, I don't know, but it fills in the bits you know are not quite right, and you kind of allow it. Now, if you're listening to it in a different context, when the bit that's not right comes in, you go, oh, that's not right. Oh, that really jars. There's something not right about that. Because I'm washing up and trying to do, or on my bike, trying not to get killed coming through New Cross, and listening to this at the same time. So your brain can't give it the full attention. It can't fill in the blanks. And if something's not right, it will jump out. Oh, that's not right. That's not right there. And then to try and just listen to. I do that. I put it on my earphones, listen to it all the way home. 45 minutes.
I do it at the gym.
Yeah.
I do it at the gym, so while I'm working out, just put it on and just go on my phone, whack it on the earbuds.
Oh, repeat.
And just leave it to repeat whilst I'm doing stuff, and then
That's
it,
right.
it
Then
jumps
write
out
it
to
all
me.
down, write it
Yeah.
all down, go the next day, don't even switch it on, just make all the changes and then listen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Totally.
yeah, that's pretty good, that. Or
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. Right, let's keep it going, gang. Let's keep it going. Tech House Tombola is... Where's the folder gone? I've got riffs stuck in my
Yeah.
head and all sorts
What
going
have
on here.
I had that in my head.
That was Giani's, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That was Giani Key's one. It was that
Yeah.
riff, yeah. Okay, right. Dun, 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 dun. Ryan Roach.
How you
Here we
doing,
go.
Wayne?
Right. Hope you're good, Ryan.
Oh, Ryan. Sorry, I thought you said Wayne.
Did I say?
I thought
That
you
was,
said Wayne.
that, did you
You
just
said
say
Wayne
Wayne?
Roach.
I didn't even hear you say how you
You
doing
said
Wayne.
Wayne Roach. I'm sure he did.
Don't know.
Oh, we'll have to edit that out as well.
Right. Ryan Roach. It's called African Dream. My eyes are going.
It's
to
a
be
collab
fair.
with Wayne Roach.
He's a distant cousin. Right. Let's do this,
He's the
Ryan.
brains of the operation. Wayne.
Ryan. Nice
Nice
one,
one,
mate.
Ryan.
Another killer groove.
Absolutely.
We've got a load of sort of heavy, chunky tour and Traxxas stuff
I
today, haven't
wonder
we?
if Ryan would lend the Vertigo brothers his kick, because that's the kick they needed in the previous track. Was the first thing I thought.
Well, maybe not. Maybe Vertigo
If you borrow
just
it,
go,
you could
just
give
go
it-
and
give it-
sample it. Ryan
give
will
it
never
back at the
know.
weekend, you know
He'll
what I
never
mean?
know.
But yeah, it's good. That's that's the mix in those drums were bang on.
That groove at the outro, I don't. You probably saw us like
Superb.
just like Mark was saying on camera. Did you see us just like
Yeah, super
rocking out? This whole
This
groove bit here.
I'd be happy to make those drums. Hook,
Lovely.
It's-
Kicks right, the shakers, everything's
wicked.
just lovely.
That's a groove I'd like to make. I mean, what I
Everything's
love in drums
lovely.
is you finding hooks, because you can have hooks in drum. But I always try and make a hook in my percussion, a hook in bass line, top line, or the top line, or the lead, whatever. Those three things, you know. You've got to, the big records, you know, when the drums come, you go, oh, I know what it is straight away.
Yeah.
Not some nondescript functional drums. When you find something that's got real identity, they're the absolute killers, and
Yeah.
that is killer. That's really good.
That groove's wicked.
Where it goes wrong, however, is the
the musical hook,
yeah,
really, isn't it?
the
Stab
music
riff.
hook is in a completely different groove to the vocal hook, and your brain's like, whoa, wasn't expecting that. It's one or t'other. Do you know what I mean? It's not both, because they
Yeah.
don't work together.
Look
You know,
at
that's why the
look
vocal.
at them above it, like on the same channel. Oh, sorry, the channel's been the same position. Look where they're hitting the syllables of the vocal and the riff. They're completely.
And that's
like,
what you couldn't play them at the same time. You could only have a little motify bit. You couldn't, because they don't groove together. They're in two
They're
different
actually
grooves.
different styles of grooves. That's why when it switches from one to the other, you're just a bit.
There's a
It's
beat-
like I'm
beat to that.
dancing, sort of dancing I don't even know, a foxtrot, and then somebody just
You
goes.
do the.
I do the
you
foxtrot
do
well,
well, Pete, to be
and then
fair.
someone just
After
going
a few
right.
beers, like.
Someone just going right waltz, and you're just like, oh what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's straight switch. do you know
That's
what I
a
mean?
mad analogy for tech.
is a
house.
mad analogy
I mean,
for
you
tech
might have done
house.
too many demos, there, Pete, to be fair. I mean,
I don't know. The thing is, I was going to use house music examples, but then the dancing's not doesn't. It's not as.
you'd lost me at
not as
Foxtrot,
separate,
Pete,
did
do
you?
you know what I mean?
Oh,
But,
I'll teach
no,
you later. I'll teach you later.
But I think I think that's the main issue
Yeah.
here. I think one, sound choice, the riff, bit okay, not great, and B, the groove of it, the vocal. Let the beat drop. Is that what it said?
Yeah, it sounded like "Let the Beat Drop."
Yeah,
Let
well,
the beat-
that's wicked.
Let
That's,
the beat drop. I like it.
that's
It's got a
really
bit of a
good.
hip house, like sort of 91 hip house vibe to it. I quite like that.
And just and just
it's
the way
simple.
the syncopation of it is
Yeah.
really, it totally is in pocket with the
With the
groove.
groove.
The riff, however, isn't. It's a bit like
Yeah, your riff's just not as good
No,
as your groove. Your
been
groove,
that.
you've outdone yourself with the groove, Ryan. You've set the bar up there, mate. So
and
now
the
you've
hook,
got to
yeah,
match that with
just
the.
ditch that riff, start again.
Yeah.
You can do something like that, but just find something that's a little bit more relaxed. It's very static, you know what I mean? Could it be a bit more swung? It's so static in its rhythm. It just
Yeah.
feels like it feels a bit like, you know.
And as well, I don't think you need to like after 4 or 8 bars, you were then trying to resolve it by doing this really complex pattern and like.
And
make
that's
it all
okay
different.
once you've got that.
But only every now and then, and once you've got the riff.
Once it in the
simplified.
pocket, yeah. First thing first, before we get to that, let's get that riff to work with the vocals so you can play the two things at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love it
but
though.
I mean, again, and then start. I think there's some production issues in terms of breakdowns and build up. But before we get into all that, let's get that bit working.
Yeah.
Because once you get that bit working, the whole thing will come alive, and the arrangement will
Lovely.
allow the arrangement to be something else, not cut paste.
Yeah, love it.
But
Nice
really
one.
good.
Well
Really,
done,
really
Ryan.
good.
Well done, man. I'm afraid that's all we got time for, though, guys, on today's session. We've tried to fit a few in. I know so many of you sent your demos in. We really
We had about
appreciate it, honestly.
100, didn't we?
Something, but yeah.
Something mad like that.
It was a
Well,
lot of
thanks very
demos,
much,
guys,
guys.
and if we could, we'd sit here all day and go through these, but we just don't have that time. But we're hoping that what we do here for you guys, what we offer, really helps you and gives you some insight into kind of how we're thinking, how A&Rs think, and some professional sort of experienced ears, just giving you these tips on how you can take your music to the next level. A few of you were commenting on here on the chat. I've been watching down here on chat, by the way, not just scrolling on Instagram. I am looking at what you guys are putting, and a few of you have said how helpful it's been to hear
cool.
hear this sort of feedback, even on other people's music. And We love doing them. You know, make sure you follow Torm Academy on Instagram. We'll announce when we do the next one. We're going to try and be back kind of monthly. All right, and we'll let you know about submitting demos again. There's an email address to send them to. We'll give you a good few weeks window, okay, and we'll try and get through some different tracks from different artists, as many as we can again as well. All right, but I just want to say big shout to sending your tracks in. I know it takes a lot to just put your music out there to the world when you've been slaving on it for a while, because that's what we aim to do as artists, but at the same time it's a scary thing, isn't it? And I know it takes a lot, but we do appreciate sending them in.
No, nice one, Pete. And also, if you want to come and meet us in person, say hello. We're going to be at the Ministry of Sound next Saturday night. Tour back in the UK.
Yes,
hopefully,
cannot
you guys, if you're
wait
around,
for
come
that.
down, come and join us, come and have a beer. We would love to see you down there. But thanks again, echoing Peter's comments. Thanks for getting involved.
Yeah.
You know, this doesn't work without your participation. So
Totally. I think we've got something to announce on the Ministry of Sound to do with Torm Academy soon as well, so watch out for that one, guys, as well. Another opportunity. But yeah, like Mark said, if you're able to, come down and see us. We always say this, look, we're open guys, we're friendly guys, come and say hello.
Absolutely. It'll be great to see you down there next Saturday.
All mixture of guys and girls from the crew, from the label, that'll be at the events. Come and say hello.
Yeah, we'll be down there.
What's new from you soon? What's next music-wise?
I've got a record out on the 17th with Darius Sarossian and James Hurt. Yeah, I've been road testing that for a minute now. That really, really works. After that, I remixed Curtis Mayfield Move On Up for Sony, which is pretty cool. That's never been remixed before. So I'm really happy with the way that's turned out.
Wow.
After that, done a thing.
What an anthem to remix.
Yeah, it's been cool. So I've done something with Diplo. Just stuff, you know what I mean? Loads and loads of music.
And any big tunes coming on tour, like from anyone that you're very excited about?
No, unfortunately not.
Nothing.
No, not this. No, no, loads. My goodness.
I know you guys have been working so hard in there.
Flat out. No, big up to Matt and George, and of course Danny and the crew.
What can we expect over the next couple of weeks?
Well, I tell you, it's massive. I tell you what, it's absolutely. I think it's the new Chaney single. I Choose You. How good is that?
Yeah, that is amazing.
Brilliant. Just a brilliant piece of music. Again, original, just in its own lane, in context with itself.
Definitely.
Balanced. All
that is a track to get on your Spotify playlist. Like in the car, in the gym, anywhere. It's amazing. He's such a good producer, isn't he?
Oh, it's so good. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that
one.
But yeah, you know, we've always got great music up our sleeves. That's what we do. That's how we roll. And if you want to hear more of it, come to the Ministry of Sound.
Definitely, guys. And if any of you are watching this and you're like, you know, this is new to me, Torm Academy, check out the website. Check out what we offer at Torm Academy. Okay, we've got loads of courses for total beginners, experienced people that have been producing a while, help you kind of find yourself, find your sound, move on if you've ever been stuck in a rut. Check it out. We've got loads of courses on offer as well. All right, guys. So thanks again for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, nice one, guys.
Love reconnecting with you all. Yeah, big respect. Respect to Cal as well, sitting in the corner.
Cal Frazier's off camera there. He is.
Big shout to Cal.
I'm wearing a tutu, but you know,
let's not judge him.
No, let's not judge him. What he's worn today, but it looks great, I think.
Nice one, gang. We'll see you on the next one. All right, take care,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys.